Hi, my name is Gleb. In the past, I used to manage products at leading technology companies. And today, I run my own AI studio, build apps, manage construction, and try to enjoy the ride. In this video, I'll show you my new app and explain exactly how I shipped it with my software factory. I'll show you the real cost of building several things at once, how I work, how I decompress, and why I keep trying. It's not the glamorous version of entrepreneurship, it's a raw look at my daily life with its own challenges and struggles. So stick around and enjoy the vlog. It's actually Saturday morning, but I just arrived to the office because we have a long weekend ahead and I still want to finish some things and properly wrap up the week. I'm preparing my app for the release and I'll tell you more about this just in a few seconds. And also need to go to check the construction, check the progress. We're just about to finish and there are a lot of important decisions which need to be made. And you might ask why Saturday, because it's actually the only day when I have time for this, because during weekdays I'm fully focused on Codebusters, more precisely Codebusters and training. And the weekend is for my other projects. But let's start with the fun part and I'll tell you more about the app I've been building in the last few weeks. The app is called Second and it's a lightweight meeting notes taker for your Mac. It works with all the meeting tools like Zoom, Google Meet, Microsoft Teams, Slack, even WhatsApp, Discord and Telegram. It transcribes the call with participant names locally on your Mac. It doesn't send anything to the cloud. And it stores the data and the context in a way that your agents can actually use it. And you might be thinking, why did I choose this idea? Because there are so many apps who are already doing the same. And this is exactly the point. There are a few reasons why I went for this idea and I want to explain them to you. Reason number one is the huge total addressable market, in short, TAM. I promised myself some time ago not to reinvent the wheel, not to try to disrupt, not to try to impress or innovate. I will just take a huge market, which is already filled with money, which is already there, and try to get a tiny slice of that. When it comes to online meetings, it's not a surprise that people are working remotely, people calling each other. Every single person, every single knowledge worker with a laptop eventually has some calls. Especially now when data becomes like a layer of your organization knowledge and the layer is going to eventually be used by agents, it's even more important right now to record the calls. Which means that the opportunity is so massive that even if I take a tiny part of this market, I still can win big. The second reason is that there are already very successful players on the market. And why this is good news? So if there is such a strong competition, it means that problem is still not addressed and there is no strong market leader. And even though these apps seem to have exactly the same functionality, they are targeting totally different users. Enterprise, big companies, entrepreneurs, individuals, people who value screen recording, people who value privacy, etc. And what proves my point is the recent investment round of Granola. I don't remember how much money they raised, but now they're valued of $1.5 billion and they're still not the market leader. It means that there is so much opportunity, and even if I take 0.01%, it will be enough for a side project to be successful. The third reason is my personal pain. As I'm doing services and working with different clients, it might totally happen that in one day I use Microsoft Teams, WhatsApp, Google Meet, Slack and Zoom, and all of these conversations are extremely important. All of these conversations need to be saved. And the work doesn't stop there, it actually only begins there, because I need to take the transcript, I need to copy it to Codex or Cloud Code, and then do the follow-ups, then do the summary, then create tickets, then create presentation, documentation, etc. I need a tool that can reliably aggregate all the notes which I have and feed it to my agent. And the fourth reason is the most important one, because it's not that I wanted to build an app. Everyone can do it with coding agents. I wanted to try a new approach which I call software factory, which means I spend more time designing the factory, designing the processes than actually building the product in a way that it can run autonomously, that it doesn't need much of my involvement. And actually, with this example, with this simple app, I proved that this concept is working and it's working great. And here's what I mean. So this is how software development has been in the last couple of years. We have very powerful agents and we tell them what to do, right? But still, we are the bottleneck because we have everything in our head. We still need to review the code. We need to actually plan the work. And then agent is our companion. Software factory is the next step in this evolution, I would say. Software factory is the same as autonomous driving, right? So if we take a look at fully human driving, then we have supervised driving, we have driving assistant, and then we have autonomous driving. So we are entering the same stage in software development and product development. It means that not only coding is done by agent, but also planning, research, design, testing, releasing, and then further improvement. And human, in this case me, is just the orchestrator. It means that we just need to focus on designing the factory and plan properly, make sure that everything is working well inside the factory, and then let the factory do the actual job. And this process, it looks like a sequence, but actually it's a loop because it's running autonomously to improve the product. And when I want to design a new feature, I just run through all of the steps together in Codex, which I'm using for coding and organizing this project over and over again to iteratively improve. So let's start with planning. This is the first one. So what we need to build. So for this, I'm doing online research with Codex. I'm checking what competitors are doing. I'm scraping complaints of people on social media, on Reddit, and I'm using the thing which is called skills. And there is one which I would like to highlight, which is called G-Stack, which I invented. Actually, it's not true. So G-Stack is from Gary Tan. He's the head of YC, Y Combinator. So just for the context, this guy is working with the most ambitious and most successful founders maybe in the whole world. And he built a collection of skills, collection of instructions for agents, which you can actually download from his GitHub and use it, which means that you basically almost have the same resources, you have the same access to thought processes as these people in Y Combinator have. And I'm using G-Stack mostly for research because I want to look at my product ideas from the YC lens. Does it make sense? Is it solving real user pains? Are people going to pay for it, etc.? So after I decide what to build, it's a question how to build it. And for this, I'm using other skills, which is called superpowers, that you can also install for free. And superpowers, it's a collection of best development practices, something which senior developers usually do. So for research, I'm using superpowers, but I'm also doing, not me, the agent is doing online research for tech, documentation, etc. So I'm checking developer blogs, what people are discussing, what competitors are using. So I want to know which technology we need to use and how to use it successfully. So we have the overall idea, we know the technology to use it. So the next step is to properly frame it as tasks or stories in the prioritized backlog. And for every story, we need to be 10 out of 10 confident that we know exactly what to do and we know exactly how to implement this. And then it's also very important to say what can be done as a sequence and what can be done in parallel, because once everything is documented in one place, once we have a clear backlog of stories, it means that it can be done by several edges at the same time, but not all of them. So that's why it's important to make sure that we do everything in the right order that can be tested and merged later on. So this is after everything is documented, after we know the exact process, and after we have this acceptance criteria. So we're 10 out of 10 confident this is the right direction. It can be one task, it can be 10 tasks, it can be hundreds of tasks. So I leave it to agents and then I go to have a coffee, I go to have a shower, or I go to sleep, and I know that they will be done in the right order with the right quality standards. And after that, the agent is going to also test it. So I'm letting the agent to have access to my laptop screen, and then it can actually click and test everything. So after the new feature is implemented, we create a pull request. It's like a technical term for like kind of review request. And then there's another agent which is checking other agents' work, which is called, let's call it reviewer from Codex. So once agent finished implementing the feature, they open the review request and another agent is reviewing it and see if there are some bugs. And if they are, it leaves a comment so the first agent can fix them, submit again, and after a few attempts like this, it's finally ready to go to the release. It's finally ready to go to production, to real users. And as all product builders know, the moment when you release your app, it's actually when the whole work just starts. And for improvement, it's important to collect both like product analytics and also technical analytics. And for this, I'm using PostHog for product metrics, and I'm using Sentry for tracking bugs. And every 4 hours I have automation which is running and checking these two tools for product and technical metrics. And if it identifies some bugs, it goes for the whole loop itself. It creates a ticket, it researches, it implements, it tests, and pushes again, and then tomorrow it checks for performance metrics. And this is basically a software factory. This is what allows me to spend 1 hour a day and keep building and keep improving this app while doing my main work, while doing my other projects, and still delivering awesome products which I personally use every single day. And if you want to try the app, there is a link in the description. Now from AI agents and software factory to sand, concrete and wood. Honestly, this project is the only reason why I'm still here. This project cost me so much money and so much stress that I was definitely not prepared for. But good news, we're finishing very soon and I'm really happy with the result. I still need to be very involved into everything, but at least we're close. And the reason why it's extremely stressful, the reason I'm struggling so much to balance both of my jobs, is actually not the complexity, it's actually not the type of work, it's the people who I'm working with. And I get scammed so many times and money was stolen so many times by people who I also thought are my friends, by people who I trusted. There are many things to be upset about, but something which I tell myself, something I convince myself that these mistakes will help me to avoid more expensive mistakes in the future. By working with a lot of people with different mindset, people from different industry, people from different cultures, I learned a lot about how to work with people, how to read them and how to trust them as well. Or more importantly, not to trust. But as I said, there are a lot of things to be positive about because it's almost done and I'm really happy with the result and happy with the quality because I either fired people or they just abandoned the project completely, not fulfilling the promises and like breaking all the contracts. So the moment I had to take full ownership and full control of this, things started to finally move, things started to finally be completed. And I'm excited about finishing this very long and very exhausting chapter. It's 6:30 a.m. We just arrived to this beautiful place, so I can finally get my Christmas present. So long story short, my mom and my sister, they gave me a Christmas present, a hot air balloon ride. But as you might know, half of the year in Bali is rain season, so I had to wait for almost 6 months to actually get my Christmas present. Today is the day, and it's going to be a beautiful day. In case air balloon ride doesn't go as planned and you find this video, please publish it and share my story with the world. Mom and sister, thank you so much for the present. Everything is ready. So this weekend I'm taking a long time off. No laptops, almost no phone, just to get out of my routine and spend some time in the north of Bali, just enjoying the views, the rice fields, a lot of driving in mountain roads, basically just the change of scenery. I think last couple of months I was very productive, very efficient. I really stay in the routine, but then when every day is the same, it also comes, it also makes me sometimes a little bit mental. So it's helpful to get out, it's helpful to change the environment. And I must also say that in the last, I think it's been like months, Seems I'm not enjoying staying in Bali that much anymore. I have my business here and I need to make sure that it's in a good shape before I leave, so I can just like disappear. But I would say being here all the time excites me way less right now, and I can feel it especially after my trip to Singapore. And there are so many great things about Bali which I started to take for granted, because of course there is a reason why I moved here, there is a reason why I fell in love in this place. And these kind of trips and this refreshing experience are a great reminder to be more patient and to be more grateful, because living here every day and experiencing this is definitely a privilege. And this is the experience which I need to remind myself that I will carry in my memories for the rest of my life. And while I'm mentally often somewhere else, and while I believe I'm going to leave soon, I'm trying to enjoy these moments and remind myself how beautiful is this place. Okay, the ride was short, but absolutely spectacular. So beautiful. I think I take my words back. Bali is so amazing. So how was your trip?
It was very amazing. Thank you.
But short, right?
It was short. But we're gonna stay one more week in Ubud.
Really?
We're not leaving. Surprise.
Okay.
Let's film.
This beautiful sunset here on the beach is a great opportunity for me to share something personal as well. I show you a little part of my life today, the decisions which I need to take, the projects which I'm working on. And look at this beach, look at this place. It's magical, right? And even after living here for such a long time, I still not taking it for granted. But I must also say that extraordinary life comes with extraordinary challenges and with extraordinary problems. And I must say that I was not ready for it. And this was the reason why I didn't publish any videos for so many months. It all started with the burnout in September, and then there was a chain of unfortunate events, one after another, after another, after another. And I found myself like in a really, really dark place. And I've been there for quite some time. That's why only now I'm sharing this. It's been very difficult months for me. During this time, of course, I'm questioning everything. I'm questioning my beliefs, I'm questioning my direction, I'm questioning my community, I'm questioning everything. And once I read on the internet one interesting proverb, that when you feel that you've been buried, you actually been planted. And I think it's very accurately describes how I feel now. I don't want to go again for the experience which I went through, but it also made me a different person. It was like a proper wake-up call, a proper slap, in the face. And I learned my lessons, and now I feel way stronger, way more confident, and way more balanced, way more grounded for sure. I know I will repeat my mistakes. I know I will make more new mistakes. But this is the journey which I chose for myself. When you step out of the common path, it's just inevitable that these problems come. So if you feel the vibe, if you feel that we can learn from each other, subscribe to my channel not to miss the new videos.